And when I'm there, most of the time, I didn't see you guys like you go to jujitsu, you kind of go do your own thing. You're hanging out with Katie, and for the most part, outside of production, I didn't see you guys together all that much. And I've always been very curious, kind of what the initial draw is. So today, what do you feel like kind of keeps you guys together beyond just your business interest, obviously?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would be right. I'm curious to hear if you asked Patrick the same question, but I don't think like we don't hang out that much here. We see each other at meals because we have a shared kitchen, but like he has his own floor of this house and he basically stays here. And then I have my own floor that I work on. And if we need help on something, we help each other. And then if we do like dinners, if we go out to a restaurant, we'll eat together.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're taking the boat out here and we've got a big group of people. So we'll hang out on stuff like that. But like he has no interest in jujitsu, golf, or kiteboarding. And those are my favorite things here.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to me and I didn't ask him this question, but I am curious, like if you were to put this into kind of like a piece of what you feel like has made your business partnership successful, like if you were to put this into a few pieces of advice, what would it actually be?
I mean, maybe just like honesty and being a reasonable person, you know, like we've been business partners now for over 10 years. And the very few times we have had arguments about something, we have always within usually minutes been able to just be like, okay, like, sure, we'll do it your way. And we never have talked about it again. Like, I don't think we've ever had a serious fight about anything.
Now I'm curious about what your reference is to arguing, because when I see you guys work together, I see you guys have what I would call an argument. It's just a small conflict, but I see it happening regularly. I actually did talk to him about that. And I was like, you guys actually have disagreements on things and you work through them very adeptly. It's like you saying.
So I don't call that like if I'm like, I think we should put the light here, and he's like, I think we should put it here. I don't call that a disagreement. I call a disagreement like, hey, I'm trying to even come up with something like something that's a little tricky is that Fstoppers in Charleston, our office is a building attached to Patrick's house.
Yeah.
So Fstoppers pays Patrick rent.
Okay.
And now Fstoppers rents both the front and the back of his house.
Yeah.
So Patrick can kind of set the price however he wants. And then I have to play
negotiator,
the position of like Fstoppers and be like, well, hold on. It's not worth what you're trying to get, you know. But we've never we've probably talked about it for like a few minutes over the course of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, every few years, like the price needs to change or go up or whatever. And he's like, I think it should be this. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, I can't think of when I say argument, I'm talking about something where like we are upset about something. There's like emotions getting involved.
Yeah. Like
about something, even if it's, or even if it's stupid. Like,
yeah.
My wife and I have gotten in arguments. I would say every single one of the arguments Katie and I have gotten into are over the dumbest stuff ever. And mostly it's just, it really boils down, and you would know as the book guy, but it really boils down to like, it doesn't seem like you're thinking or caring of me. That's what it is. But it comes out as, why don't you ever vacuum the house? And I'm like, because I have this other business and I'm happy to pay someone to vacuum the house. So like, I'm not asking you to vacuum the house. Just if you don't like doing it, then let's hire someone. And then she's like, I don't want to hire someone. You should, like, that's not, honestly, not even an argument that's ever happened, but that's something that would happen with us. And it could get to the point where like both of us are a little annoyed at each other. And it's like over vacuuming, like it makes no sense, but it's not the vacuuming that's the real problem, right? But my point is, Patrick and I, that never happens to us.
Well, okay. So on a very minute level, I've been with you guys in production when, like, say, for example, Patrick was like, let's go to San Juan, downtown San Juan. We're going to go and film there. And you're like, why would we go to downtown San Juan when we have a perfectly good place we can just film right here? And it was, we're going to hire these models. And so I see the back and forth, And one of my huge arguments in all relationships is that conflict is a very necessary, healthy, and ultimately a good thing for not only a business partnership, but also like just general relationships. That usually you can gauge the strength of a relationship by whether or not they're willing to deal with conflict. Like how many of your friendships would you say, like, if we actually encountered conflict, I probably just like kind of let it go. You know, it's not worth like, you know,
sure,
going into something about it.
Sure.
But I also feel like I can see where if I were to boil down certain things like that I saw in you guys, it's you guys can handle conflict well, but that also helps in the product that you guys are creating. Like you actually will openly state your opinion to the instructors that you guys have on camera. I think we need to do this. Our audience needs to see this. You're both not afraid to like kind of speak very openly about things. So in addition to like shared interest, it feels like from my side and watching, you guys have shared values, and then you have similar approaches, and you have all these different things that are kind of going for you guys. So I was very curious to see your take on it though.
I think I agree. I just feel like we're just very reasonable with stuff. And you're right. Like I remember the argument about going to San Juan. I didn't want to do it. Patrick does want to do it. I think the differences and why I don't consider that like a legitimate or serious argument is because when I think of legitimate argument, I think of like you're holding on to it for days or weeks or months. You don't want to see the person anymore. You can tell when you're in the same room, there's something weird eating at both of you.
That's like a
battle. And like, yeah, like that was not what was going on with San Juan. That's Patrick like saying like, I think there's better pictures there. And I'm like, no, there's plenty of pictures here, and I'm lazy and I don't want to drive 2 hours to get this shoot done. But I don't even remember like like, I think we've had this argument like 10 times, but maybe in that one, I was like, fine, we'll go.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. You conceded on that one. And the way that I define conflict is, like conflict can be something that's internal. It can be something that's external, like someone doing something stupid outside of your relationship, but then the fact that you have to deal with it with your friend or with whoever, or it could be something that you guys do on your own, but it doesn't have to be like, yelling and angry and that kind of stuff. I found that both of you have very similar approaches to conflict and conflict resolution, where you kind of both just calmly, casually state your opinions, and one of you usually is kind of like, okay, like let's just go and do this thing, and you're both very kind of mild mannered. If, for example, though, let's say Patrick would, blow up and be like, Lee, you never ever want to do anything that I want to do. And if he was very dramatic with each of these like instances, then I think you would actually see that conflict. It would be very apparent. But because you guys manage conflicts similarly, you're very fluid with it. It kind of just happens.
You're probably right about that. Patrick treats electronics like that. So he will have meltdowns where he is, I think he will die one day of some sort of heart malfunction because like the computer software doesn't work, or Adobe Photoshop changed their icons again, and I can't find the brush tool. Yeah.
I've seen those meltdowns.
Luckily, he has never done that at me. So when he does it, I can just kind of laugh and walk away. But yeah, if he treated me like that, then I don't think I could be close friends with him.